networking. Okay. I'm just going to read real quick. When I was a kid, I realized that networking is something you'll do for the rest of your life. So you might as well get good at it, right? So when it came to business networking, I created this philosophy because I realized as I was actively networking in the world, I was actively networking out there. One of the real life problems I had was I had to make rent. Okay, I had to make like $2,200, $2,300 rent at that time in 2018. And the only way I was doing it, because I went on my own, like I was consulting. I didn't have a job. I was my own independent like contractor basically. I had a consulting business, I still do. And I was making money from that. So one of the offers I created was called high status networking. And the only reason why it worked was because I was actively networking and building my personal brand. And what I was doing at the time was I was showcasing my life. I was doing a daily vlog every single day for 3 to 4 years straight. I was doing a daily vlog. So I would literally have story posts every single day, and people would know like what I'm doing, who I'm with, where I'm going, where I'm at, everything. And because I started to build this story and this narrative and this persona online just by documenting my real life, my daily life, because you can't fake that. Like you can't fake your daily life. And there's no point in doing that. And it's not sustainable. You can't scale like that. So I did that, and I eventually started to learn about these business networking like tools, techniques, tips, and just like the workarounds, etc. And I eventually started to frame it as high status networking. And I developed that name because that's exactly what I was doing. Okay, so and one of the goals that I was sharing is that when it comes to high status networking, the number one goal is to achieve local celebrity status. You want to achieve local celebrity status in your local market because you want to first build in your home, in your local market. You first build there and then you expand out. So it starts in your home and then it expands to your neighborhood and then the city and then the next city over and then the state and then the next state over and then the country and then other countries. That is the progression of how you build celebrity status to a global status, okay? At least in steps. And so, what's the easiest way to do it? Instead of becoming a global celebrity, you start locally, right? So, achieving local celebrity status is number one. And let me share with you some examples first about how this works, okay? I'm actually just going to go to YouTube and I'm going to go to Thrive, okay? I'm going to showcase because this is an example of local celebrity status. And I'm being featured in corporate, okay? Look who I found. Do you guys recognize these faces? So this right here, being featured in corporate, okay? Being featured on a company video, being featured like within the business that you're working, okay? That already is elevating your brand position, your personal brand. That's one, okay? That is one. The next level, obviously, to that is, being on stage, right? Look, who's that? Okay, Angela. So that's one way of achieving local celebrity status. That is a milestone. Okay, that's a milestone of achieving local celebrity status. Look, Crystal and I, right? Like this is a milestone for us to achieve local celebrity status. Getting interviewed by corporate, that's a milestone. And if it's showcased and other people within the company notice, like they know who you are, they see like you know what you're doing, et cetera, right? That right there is that's testimony to you. Okay. So that is one. That's one way. Because I've had people, when it comes to a mastermind, I've had people from employee standpoints, from the own business owner standpoints, from entrepreneurship, independent, what everything, all walks of life, like real estate, hedge fund owners, venture capitalists, everyone. Okay. Like I've worked with a different range of people. It's the same thing. It's just the same thing. It's about being able to achieve local celebrity status in your local market, in your local network. And then from there, the milestones that you achieve is when people are seeing you, they're seeing your face, they're not featured yet. And so that right there already is there's a difference when it comes to positioning. Okay. There's low status, no status, high status. If you're not featured in corporate, you're in a no status position right now with corporate, right? Well, how do you elevate that? How do you connect and network with corporate, right? You build the real raw connections, the real authentic connections and relationship with corporate. And sooner than later, boom, it happens, right? When it comes to Crystal and I being featured, it was like that. Like when it came to corporate, like for me, I'm like I thrive because Crystal obviously brought me in and thrives. But when it comes to corporate, like why did they put me and why did they record me every single time I show up at conference? It's because I built that relationship, the connection alone. That was it. Like I'm not anyone special. So when it comes to that, it's exactly that reason. Okay. It's just the connection. It was one connection away. Now, I wish I had like all these prepared, but I'll prepare it on another time. But literally, again, with the 7 steps, this is what it's about. It's about achieving local celebrity status, right? And you can read this is public information. You can read it on the website, resurrectionmedia.com. But there's just 7 things, okay? The seven trans it's I'm just gonna read it real quick. Man, I encourage everyone to read it if you really want to read like more about like this. But Angela says, create your status today and sign up for OZ. Good job. That is a good call out. That is really good. If you haven't done an OZ, like that is a great way to start building up your reps. Okay. Build up those reps. Get in front of a camera. Share your story with other people, right? Let me share with you right here the high status networking framework. This is a methodology. It's a system. It's flexible and you can use it and achieve it and use it to your advantage, right? Leverage it. But I call it high status transformations, right? There are 7 transformations that you must go through in order to attain high status, okay, and achieve local celebrity status. One is cultivating a high status understanding of the world. Number 2 is developing a high status mindset. Number 3 is arming yourself with high status skills, right? Networking, branding, marketing, all that stuff I mentioned before. Number 4 is creating a high status brand, right? It's about building that personal brand and elevating your status, right? Because that's what people are seeing. It's unfortunately we live in a world where people judge based off of appearance. Well, guess what? That's just the real world. That's how like the reality of the world works. So use that to your advantage. Instead of going against it, learn it and use it, right? Number 5 is applying high status networking. High status networking is about, there's a lot of different ways to do it, but it's about status transfers. It's about energy transfer, like what Angela mentioned earlier, right? Number 6 is monetizing connections. When it comes to business networking, it's not enough to just connect with people. How do you actually make money together? How do you actually monetize those connections, right? That's number 6. And number 7 is having a high status networking guide, a mentor, right? Obviously, like in this scenario, I would be the guide. But if you have other people that you can learn from that have high status and they're willing to teach you, then learn from them. But high status networking specifically, I just framed it like that. I created it in 2018 and I released it publicly. But this is all the transformations. This is basically a summary of what the 7 transformations are. So we're not going to have time to go over it because I want to go over on the book real quick. But this right here is a tool. It's free. Like go after it. Here, this is the link. Okay. Read it at your own time and take notes. And not only that, but take it a step further. Okay. What I want you to do is like go on YouTube. Like go on YouTube and start to, if you're really like looking to learn this, like and understand it, like really cultivate a high status understanding of the world. Like look at celebrity interviews, understand like media, understand movies, understand cinema, understand like how did a brand get to where it's at. Like you have to look through all that stuff. That's the data. That's the work. Okay, that's the work that I did. So it's out there. It's available. It's just about like having awareness and understanding like what to like research and what to like seek out. And remember the quote, right? Seek and you shall find. Okay, so seek this information out and you'll find it, right? And it's there. It's right here. Okay. So, anyways, with that being said, I'm happy you got to share that because that's the 7 steps that I literally take someone from if they want to learn high status networking and apply it and just like build a high status brand. It's about going through the 7 transformations and then applying it, right? Applying it until it becomes instinctual and until you actually achieve local celebrity status in your local market. Once you do, then it's just game over. Another example of that is Star Motorworks, right? With every business owner that I work with, my number one goal is to achieve local celebrity status first. That's number one. Because once I achieve local celebrity status for them, I unlock celebrity status with their brand. Guess what happens? That's the 20% that gets the 80 done. Now every effort is multiplied because of local celebrity status. If you think about yourself, I didn't get to go through everything for high status networking, but what I'll do is I'll just draw it real quick. I've done this before many times, okay? But I'm just going to show you right now. In a nutshell, this is my methodology for high status networking, okay? This is literally what it is, right? And I left out one word, but this is my picture that I always draw and share with everyone who works with me, right? This is you, okay? And the circle is the world, and the arrow is the attention. And in today's society, especially with access to social media, and when you're doing business, you're building a brand, the goal of high status networking, okay, is this, is to get, is to multiply the arrows on you. And the reason for that is because when you multiply all the arrows, the attention, because arrows equal attention, when you multiply all the attention on you, on your brand, on your personal brand, on your business, etc., everything gets multiplied. All efforts in play get multiplied. All your marketing efforts, your networking efforts, your PR efforts, your word of mouth efforts, your referral base, everything multiplies just simply because the world's attention is now on you. Does that make sense? And that's the point of local celebrity status. That's the point of unlocking celebrity status. It's because when you unlock celebrity status, right? When you become famous, does the fame go away? The fame only goes away if your relevancy is not on you anymore, if the attention is not on you anymore. However, that celebrity status is now, it's history, okay? It's locked in position as history now. You are now known in that mind, in the perception of the mind, as a celebrity. Does that make sense? Okay. So that right there is the importance and purpose and reason and intention and just the critical reason for why you need to unlock celebrity status, especially if you're building a business. If you're building a personal brand, this is number one. If you're building a business, this is number one. Why? It's because the story and perception that lives in the client's mind, in the market's mind, the target, in the customer's mind, in your network's mind is that you are a celebrity. Okay. It only amplifies everything that you do. Now, there's good attention, there's bad attention based on what you do, based on what you portray, based on what your message is out there to the world. And that's where the coaching comes into play because that's an ongoing process. But that right there, there's pros and cons. It's a double-edged sword. If you use this power, if you use celebrity status to your advantage and you're doing it, you're a force for good, it's only going to help you make more good in the world. But if you're not doing good and you have celebrity status, what happens to you? You amplify the negativity, right? So that's why it's a double-edged sword. It's because you have to have responsibility, right? That famous quote from Spider-Man, it's with great power comes great responsibility, right? That's the same thing with celebrity status, with influence. When you have influence, everyone's mind and eye is